Last but not least, we need to come up with a method that we can compare our structures. So first of all, if we look back at our notes, in order to compare structures, we cannot just try to compare and see if, for example, a lion is equal to a zebra. For example, if I were to say something like see out, and I want to just check to see if lion location is the same as the zebra location, and so that would output, in my mind, a true or a false. And I'm going to comment out these other lines of code here just momentarily before we get into this. Actually, what I could do here is to actually use this. Now let's just go ahead with this. I'm going to comment these out. So just a second. So if I comment out that section, looks like it's already partially commented out. So what I'm going to try to do here is use a double equals to compare the lion's location with the zebra location. And if I look, the lion location is at 23, the zebra location was at, let's see, 12, so they should not match. Okay, so if I click run, it hopefully would try to match them up, but it doesn't. My error is, it says there is no match for this operator, operand, and so it's basically telling me that we cannot compare. Well, it's saying the C out isn't comparable, but it's having problems processing the following. It can't output what I'm anticipating to be a Boolean here, okay? And so it doesn't know what to do. So what we need to do in order to compare structures is you have to compare member by member. And so I'm going to write a compare method. I'm going to compare the locations. And if the locations are identical, that means both their ID number and their name match, I'm going to print out that the animals are in the same location. Otherwise, the animals are in different enclosures. So location is an enclosure, so I could say they are in the same enclosure here as an example. So in order to write a method, before main, we want to return a Boolean, that's true or false, so bool, compare locations, and I have to send in two locations. So my compare locations method call will include, I'm going to call the lion's location and the zebra location. This returns a Boolean. So if it returns a true, it's going to say the animals are in the same location, otherwise they're in different locations, enclosures. Now, if I scroll down, here's what it looks like. I'm going to compare. Location, the first one is sent in as location 1. The second one is sent in as location 2. I'm not using pass by reference right now. I just pass them by value for probably just have it, okay? But you can change it up to be passed by reference if you want. But it's going to be, I'm going to check, is the enclosure ID equal to enclosure ID 2? Is 1 equal to 2? If so, then I'm going to look, is the enclosure name equal to the enclosure name for 2? So 1 dot enclosure name double equals 2 dot enclosure name. If both of those are true, then I'm going to return true. Otherwise, I'm going to return false. And so that's my method. So it should return that they're not the same because I'm in different locations. So if I click run, cross my fingers that I don't have any typos anywhere, it prints animals are in different enclosures, which is what I would expect. Okay, if I actually sent in lion location and lion location, so I sent in both alike values, then it should print that they are in the same enclosure. Animals are in the same enclosure. So that roughly, that works. That's my simple error trapping. Now, there is another way that we can actually do this comparison, and this actually introduces a brand new topic. So in order to keep the video short, I'm going to show that in the next video. So this is one way that you can write your comparison, but you are then going to have to write a compare locations for all of them, lions, or excuse me, animals, and location and zoo animals, okay? Next video, we'll show you a shortcut and a little bit of a sweeter way to do this.